when a person or group of persons have the skills to go out and invest money or raise capital to start their own business. A business is a type of structure that actually takes risks and helps them to generate revenue and make a profit. That is the basic definition of entrepreneurship. If we think of some famous examples in the world, let's talk about them. Who can tell me of a famous entrepreneur that you know around the world? Can anybody here share the name of an entrepreneur that you can think of around the world? Could we say that Steve Jobs at Apple was an entrepreneur? Please lower your electronic hand unless you want to ask a question. Everybody lower your electronic hands, please, so I know who I'm talking to. I don't want to see any electronic hands. Everybody lower your electronic hand. Let's start by talking to Miss Ria Tungo. Hello, Ria. Would you like to unmute your microphone for me? Hi, Ria. Where are you from? Everybody lower your electronic hands. Hi, Ria. Where are you from tonight, mate?
Yes, I'm from the Philippines, but I'm here in Abu Dhabi.
Wonderful.
Dubai.
Tell me, can you give me the name of a famous entrepreneur that you know? You know the man who started Apple, Steve Jobs. When he started the business, he was an entrepreneur. Can you give me the name of another entrepreneur that you can think of?
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
You don't know. All right. But do you know what I mean by an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is somebody who starts a business. Do you understand me, Ria?
Yes.
Good girl. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you, Ria. How's the weather in Abu Dhabi today? Is it hot or cold?
It's still hot.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Is there anybody else who would like to tell me about somebody they know who's an entrepreneur? Lizelle Landicho, can you share with me the name of an entrepreneur that you know? Go ahead, Lizelle, unmute your microphone. Give me the name of an entrepreneur.
I think, sir, is Henry C.
Wonderful. What sort of entrepreneur is this person? Tell us about them.
I think they have more business here in the Philippines, like SM malls.
Right. Okay. All right. So an entrepreneur is basically somebody who creates a business entity. And like any business entity, why do you start a business, Lizelle? What's the aim of any business? It's to generate revenue and make a profit. Is that right? Good.
Yes,
excellent. Tell me, where are you from, Lizelle? Are you from the Philippines?
Yes, sir. I'm from the Philippines.
And what part of the Philippines are you in today?
Batangas, sir.
I've been to Batangas several times. How's the weather?
Good.
Excellent. I used to stay at Days Hotel or Days Motel in Batangas. I've been there about
home.
That's right. Yes. I came from Australia at that time. It's a beautiful city, Batangas. It's not as crowded as Manila. Thank you for joining us for tonight's lesson. Thank you, Lizelle. Thank you. All right, let's go on. So what we've spoken about so far is examples of entrepreneurship. The man who starts a local 7-Eleven, the person who sells food on the street in Vietnam or the Philippines, they are entrepreneurs. They're running their own business. But the only difference is the size of this entrepreneur and how successful they are. How many people here would like to be entrepreneurs one day? If you want to be entrepreneurs, can you wave your hand to me? I want to see your hands wave. Thank you, Lloyd. Thank you, Dolores. Thank you, Kalai. You all want to be entrepreneurs. Thank you, Nazi. Thank you, Lizelle. So tell me, Nazi, what sort of entrepreneur do you want to be? Can you tell me? Give me an example of the kind of company you want to start. Can you unmute your microphone, please? I will get to talk to all of you, but please, let's just take the lesson slowly. We have 3 hours, and I promise you I'll talk to as many people as those that I can. Nazi, what sort of business would you like to start? Tell me about it.
I want to become a businesswoman, like opening same like A restaurant like this,
Okay, a
or
restaurant
even
is a business. Okay, and what sort
yes,
of restaurant would it be? Filipino food? What sort of food?
Filipino food and Italian.
Wonderful, excellent. So
Yes,
tonight's lesson is very important for you because you're going to learn the basic foundation of what makes you an entrepreneur, okay?
yes.
Thank you. And if you do open a Filipino restaurant and you know how to make good adobo, I will come and visit you, all right?
Yeah, actually, I'm here in Australia right now.
Whereabouts in Australia? Melbourne, Sydney, Perth, or Adelaide?
Yeah, I'm here in Melbourne.
Right. I was born in Melbourne, so it's a lovely city. Give my regards to Melbourne, okay?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dolores. Okay, guys, let's go on with the lesson. So let's talk about entrepreneurship. Here we go. So what is entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship is the act of someone or different people getting together to start an entity which is known as a business. And the focus of this business, okay, or businesses, shop or shops, factory or factories, could be to sell goods, to manufacture goods in return for revenue and make a profit. But today, now in the 22nd century, in the 20th century, sorry, in 2022, to make it easier for you, in the 20th century, in the year 2022, entrepreneurship is also about changing the way the world behaves or solving problems in the world. Now, if you all think about it, COVID-19 brought a problem to the world, and that meant that people could not go out and buy food. People could not go to the supermarket. So new types of entrepreneurs were created around the world. Anybody can tell me what sort of new entrepreneurs were created because of COVID-19? Who wants to wave their hand and tell me? Somebody give me an example. Come on, put up your hand. Someone? Okay, good. Dolores Pabionis. Hi, Dolores. Tell me, what sort of entrepreneurs came up and became successful as a result of COVID-19? Could you unmute your microphone, please? Hi, tell me,
Hello.
Dolores.
By
What's
online selling.
good? Excellent. Can you give me an example of an online store that became very rich during COVID-19?
By selling food.
Right. Okay, good. Excellent. So restaurants started delivering food.
Yes.
People like Grab and other
Yeah.
delivery services, their business grew tenfold because before that, no one used to use Grab. No one used to use Food Panda. No one used to use food delivery because we all used to go out. I want to take your attention away. Does everybody here know Amazon? Amazon. Who knows Amazon? Yes, wave your hands if you know Amazon. Amazon was created by Jeff Bezos, okay, to become one of the world's most successful e-commerce platforms. But before COVID-19, they were a small company. They were in like 10 countries. Because of COVID-19, Jeff Bezos as an entrepreneur became the richest man in the e-commerce business. Amazon is the largest e-commerce platform now in the world. Why? Because during COVID-19, the world was faced with a problem where customers couldn't go out and buy goods. Customers had to buy their goods and services online. So Amazon created a new marketplace. The girls could go to Amazon, they could look for a dress, they could choose the dress in the right color, they can order it, it will be delivered to their doorstep. During COVID-19, people like Nike and Adidas came up with artificial intelligence online. You could download their app. You could take a picture of your foot. You could actually design the pair of sneakers you want, and you could order them online and they would be delivered to your house. That was never available before COVID-19. During COVID-19, you could order your groceries online. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? So COVID-19 caused a problem for the world, but entrepreneurs used their brain and put their money to create a business that would solve that problem. Can anybody else give me an example of a business that was created to solve the problems created by COVID-19? Who can give me another example? Anybody here want to raise their hand, wave your hand and give me an example? Don't be shy. I'm here for you to learn. You need to participate. All right, let's talk to Elmina. Elmina Salison. Hi, Elmina. Where are you from tonight? Good evening. Unmute your microphone. Hi, where are you from, Elmina? I can't hear you. Your microphone is not working, ma'am. You have to put on your microphone. I cannot hear you, Elmina. Your microphone is muted. You need to switch on your microphone or get a new microphone. Are you speaking to me, Elmina? I can't hear you. All right, I'll come back to you. Thank you. Would anybody else like to share any ideas about a business that solved the problems caused by COVID-19? Can anybody else give me an example? Okay, COVID-19 meant that you all needed vaccinations. So what sort of companies or entrepreneurs had to go and come up with a vaccine? Medical pharmaceutical companies had to very quickly develop a vaccine to give people all over the world to protect them from COVID-19. Companies all over the world, pharmaceutical companies, actually generated billions of dollars simply by selling COVID-19 vaccine. That is another form of entrepreneur that actually was able to make millions because they solved the problem caused by COVID-19. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no?
Yes.
Do you understand, Jaymar? Thank you, Jaymar. I want you to look at me and focus on the lesson. Focus on the lesson. Okay, do you understand that, Brian? Sorry, Brain. Ongoyo, do you understand, sir? Thank you, Brain. Okay, excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, okay, so let's go back to the lesson, but I want you to think. I want you to think Amazon. I want you to think Jeff Bezos. I want you to think Alibaba. I want you to think Facebook. I want you to think WhatsApp. All these social platforms grew 100 times more powerful during COVID-19 because people could not go out. They could only socialize with their friends through an online platform. So WhatsApp got millions of subscribers. Facebook saw more people join Facebook than any other platform in the world. WeChat, TikTok, all of these businesses, business entrepreneurs and companies that were formed by Mark Zuckerberg at Facebook or by Jeff Bezos at Amazon or Steve, the guy that created Apple, all of these big companies which were created by entrepreneurs, okay? All these big companies found a way to solve problems in the world and as a result generated millions of dollars. Even though COVID saw millions of people getting retrenched and companies closing, these companies, which were formed by very intelligent entrepreneurs, benefited as a result of COVID-19. They made money. Why? Because they were able to solve a problem the world was facing. Does everybody understand me so far? Yes or no?
Yes.
Wave your hands if you understand. I want to see hands being waved. I don't want any electronic hands. I want real hands. I love real people. Thank you, guys. Excellent. Let's go back to our presentation. Okay. So entrepreneurship is what people do to take their career into their hands and lead their own business. So if you work for someone, you're basically working for a company or a shop created by an entrepreneur. But if you become an entrepreneur yourself and you run your own business, then you are controlling your destiny. You are controlling how much money you invest and how much money you make. There is a difference between working for an entrepreneur and becoming an entrepreneur. Okay, entrepreneurship, as I said, is the act of creating a business. It's about building a life on your own terms. It's like saying to yourself, from tomorrow, I'm going to become a vegetarian. You stop eating meat. When you decide to go down the road of entrepreneurship, you're saying, I will no longer have a boss. I will become the boss. I do not have to go to work at a certain time and work overtime because I am the boss. No one will be there to give you money if you don't make money. No one will pay your salary. You will have to pay your own salaries. Entrepreneurs, people who go down the step of setting up their own business, will actually be able to bring something new to the world. By bringing something new to the world, like the companies who developed the vaccine for COVID-19, they were able to help millions of people, millions and millions of people, to protect them from dying as a result of the COVID-19 vaccine. Okay? So let me ask you, if you want to become an entrepreneur, what sort of characteristics do you think are important to you? What sort of characteristics do you think are important to you? Can anybody give me an idea? Let's start with Miss Tinza Wint. Hi, Tinza. Can you give me an example of a characteristic that you think you need to have to become an entrepreneur? Give me one example.
Creative.
I can't hear you. Being creative. Is that what you said?
Yes.
All right. I want you to use another word today because now you're students, you're studying for a diploma. So I want you to use more academic words. When you become creative, you bring the art of creativity and new ideas to the table. But in order for creativity to be realized, you must also be eccentric. Does everybody understand what I mean? I'm going to type the word eccentric into the chat box. I want everybody to write it down and put it in your notes, okay? So creativity alone is not enough. In order to become an entrepreneur and to go down the path of entrepreneurship, yes, you do have to have creativity, but more than that, you have to be eccentric. Can somebody tell me what is the meaning of the word eccentric? Who can tell me? I see Jaylin in her beautiful pink top. Just one moment, please. I keep getting this board. What is this? Just one moment. One moment, please. Okay. One moment. Okay. All right. So being eccentric, who can tell me what the meaning of the word eccentric is? Can somebody put up their hand and tell me what is the meaning of the word eccentric? Okay, let's talk to Privilege. Hi, Privilege. What do I mean when I say eccentric? Can you unmute your microphone, please? Unmute your microphone. What does it mean? Go ahead.
It means the ability to think outside the box.
Thank you very much. You've attended one of my sessions before. Eccentric means being able to take your thoughts outside the box. Privilege, can you give me an example of something that you've done where you started thinking outside the box?
I got into a situation, so I needed to come up with an idea so that I can pull myself out of that situation.
And did it work?
Yes, I did.
And how did you feel after you did that? Did you feel motivated that by you going outside your comfort zone, you actually achieved results?
Yes, I was very motivated.
Thank you very much, Privilege. You will make a great entrepreneur one day. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you shortly. So, ladies and gentlemen, eccentricity is a core fixture of being an entrepreneur. Let me give you an example. If you look at people like Jeff Bezos, all right, Steve Jobs, they are eccentric. Jeff Bezos not only created Amazon, he now has warehouses in at least 20 countries around the world. All his warehouses are operated by artificial intelligence and robots. How many business people do you think would invest in automating their warehouses with robots? He did that because he saw how many people were buying online during COVID-19. Let's look at Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs started by coming up with a MacBook, an Apple Mac computer. He then decided that the old Nokia phone was no longer good enough. He came up with the first smartphone and called it an iPhone. The iPhone now is one of the world's best-selling phones ever created because it was the first of its kind smartphone. And till now, it's one of the most secured forms of smartphone available in the world because iPhone has one of the best security platforms built into it. That shows you how eccentric these entrepreneurs were, and they continue to be. So let's go on. We've said that the first element of being an entrepreneur is creativity. Who can give me the second element of entrepreneurship? Eliza, can you tell me a second one? What's the second characteristic you think you need to have to be an entrepreneur, Eliza? Go on. Are you there, Eliza? Would you like to open your microphone? Eliza? Are you there, Eliza? Can you open your microphone? Hi, Eliza.
Hello?
Can you give
Hello?
me another characteristic that you need to have to be an entrepreneur?
Enjoy freedom and flexibility.
Very good. Flexibility, a very good word. Thank you, Eliza. Can you give me an example of being flexible?
I have no idea for flexible.
Okay,
Uh,
flexible means being able to think of a problem, think of the options, and make quick decisions based on the circumstances. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I want to hear you say it with confidence. Do you understand me? Say yes.
Yes, sir.
Good on you. Excellent, Eliza. I'll talk to you soon. All right, let's
Yes.
go on and let's look at the other characteristics. Okay, so another characteristic is to enjoy your freedom of being the boss and enjoy being flexible, being able to make quick decisions that you may have to change within minutes or seconds to save your business. You have to understand the very basic rules of finance and how to make money and spend money. You basically have to be ambitious and goal-oriented. You have to take self-initiative. You have to be motivated to be successful. And you have to be problem solvers. All right, so think creatively, be eccentric, be flexible, have basic understanding of finance, be ambitious, set goals, follow them through, be self-motivated, have your own initiative, and be ready to solve problems, your problems and the problems of the people who work for you. Let's start by talking about the characteristics of entrepreneurship. Let's go through some of them. Curiosity, okay? Curiosity. Successful entrepreneurs usually have a personality trait that makes them want to ask questions. They are always trying to find out what the world's problems are, and they always want to solve problems. They're curious. If you don't ask questions, If you don't think of solutions to solve problems, how can you be an entrepreneur? If Steve Jobs never thought of taking the basic Nokia analog phone and coming up with a much smarter device where you can chat, send emails, record videos, take pictures, the smartphone would never have been developed, because no one like Steve Jobs was curious enough to come up with a handheld device that can do that. For some of us, we're not actively curious, we're passive. And when we're passive, we just wait for somebody else to solve the problem and make the money. Let me give you all an example. Let me give you all an example. What is one of the biggest problems that people face every day in your life? Everybody needs the solution to this problem. When you eat, at one point or another during the day, you have to dispose of waste. You need a toilet. Am I right or wrong? Wave your hands,
Yes.
everyone. Everybody needs a toilet at least once or twice a day, right? Okay, so let's think of the genius, the curious man who developed or designed the first toilet that was ever invented. This man was curious. Many hundred years ago, he used to see people digging holes in the ground to use them as toilets. He thought, why should people dig holes? Why can't I develop some sort of unit that they could build inside their house to dispose their waste? He came up with this seat with a hole, a circle. And at the back of the seat, there was a box with water. So when you flush it, the pressure would push the waste down the sewage tube. He invented what's known today as the toilet, because he was curious to solve a problem that hundreds of millions of people didn't solve. They used to do their business in a hole in the ground. Do you understand how important his curiosity was to develop a toilet? Every time you go to the toilet, do you ask yourself, who was the genius entrepreneur that once developed this toilet seat? Otherwise, you'd be going out to your garden, digging a hole and dropping your waste in it. Does everybody understand what I mean by curiosity? Do you understand that, Apple May? All right. Okay, so the entrepreneur who developed the toilet has now earned millions through royalties and selling his blueprint to factories all over the world. In Japan, they have taken the toilet you have and made it better. In Japan, you can buy toilets. When you sit on the toilet, you have a digital screen. You can choose how warm you want your toilet seat. You can listen to music through the toilet with speakers on the sides. You can actually have a machine that massages your bottom while you sit on the toilet. That's how advanced toilet seats are now. If you ever check into a 5-star hotel in Japan and go to the toilet, it's not like the normal toilet in your house. It has like a mini screen, like a remote control. So you can adjust the height of your toilet. You can adjust how warm the toilet seat is. You can adjust the music you listen to while you're on the toilet. All of these are because people around the world are trying to solve problems. People around the world have decided when people want to go to the toilet, they want something more than just sitting there and letting out the waste. They want to relax. They want to listen to music. So now they have designed toilet seats that play music. Did everybody know that? Do you all know that? No? So when you all go out to buy another house, make sure you ask the builder to give you a toilet seat from Japan that can play music, all right? I have just ordered one for my house. They're only a few $1,000s, but I'm going to get rid of the old white toilet that I got in my new house when I bought it. Because when I go to the toilet, I want to enjoy music and relax as well, all right? That's because people now work long hours. They're stressed. So when they come home, they need to de-stress. And some genius in Japan, with his curiosity, came up with the solution. Can everybody hear me, ladies and gentlemen? Can you wave your hands if you can hear me? Good, excellent. Abdul Muhid, I think it's something to do with your computer, sir. You need to actually activate your speaker or reconnect. It could be your internet connection because everybody else can hear me, sir. Please reconnect with your internet or make sure you get a faster internet connection, or maybe it's your mobile phone, sir. All right, so let's go on. We all understand what I mean by curiosity. Okay, after curiosity, the other characteristic is structured experimentation. So along with curiosity, to be an entrepreneur, you need to understand how you go through checking your ideas, asking questions, and testing them out before you invest money to start a business. That's called experimentation. With each new opportunity as an entrepreneur, before you go out and start a business and invest money, you have to make sure that you can make money, that people will buy your product or eat it, and that you can make a profit. So for example, if you want to open a restaurant, before you open a restaurant, you would have to try cooking food, getting your friends to eat it, getting your neighbors to taste it, and tell you whether they think it's good enough and they would pay for your food. You need to experiment. You need to do structured experimentation. You develop a menu, you test every item. Your friends might tell you, hey, your adobo is too salty. You need to lower the salt. Or, hey, your steak is not cooked properly. You need to learn how to cook steak. So you need to experiment before you go ahead and invest your money in a business to make money. Like the guy who developed the toilet seat. Before the toilet seat that you know today became famous, he probably had 20 other designs that he tested first. That is part of structured experimentation. The next point is being adaptable, being able to change as the world changes. We said before that because of COVID-19, companies like Grab, food delivery, online shopping became famous. So if you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to be curious. You have to be able to adapt. If today COVID-19 comes back and the government says no one is allowed to go out, everybody must stay home and buy everything online, and you run a restaurant. So instead of waiting for customers to come to your restaurant, you would have to come up with a process where you cook the food and pack it so the food will be delivered to your customers hot. Because if you can't do that, no one will order food and you will end up without a business because you will have no customers. So as an entrepreneur, entrepreneurship requires you to be adaptable. It needs you to be curious. It needs you to be able to do tests and go through structured experimentation before you launch your company or your ideas. You also need to be decisive. To be successful in entrepreneurship, you have to know what you want. You have to make decisions and not say maybe. If you make a decision to start a business and employ 20 people, you need to carry that through, because these 20 people will rely on you for their wages or salary at the end of every month. You will be responsible for making sure your business can generate enough income to pay the salaries of the people that work for you. It's like you guiding a missile through to its trajectory. When you employ people, you've got to guide them on how to work in your company, run your business, and generate money for you so you can make a profit and pay their salaries. You can be decisive, and when you're decisive, sometimes you may not be correct, but as long as you do what you say you're going to do, and if you're adaptable, remember we said you have to be adaptable, you have to be ready for change when you need to. Then once you discover a problem, you simply correct it. It's part of being adaptable. It's part of being an entrepreneur. Let's go on. So what we talk about, ladies and gentlemen, is that part of entrepreneurship is not only working on your own. Part of entrepreneurship is also being able to manage a team of people who work for you or work with you. All right. If you want to work alone, you basically will face problems being an entrepreneur and succeeding in entrepreneurship, because as a single person, you can't do everything alone. You need a team. Okay, let's ask questions. Does everybody understand the characteristics that I just explained? Yes or no? Can you wave your hands for me? I want to see hands waved. I don't want to see zombies. I want hands. Tiba Tant Sinto, wave your hand, young man. I see you sitting there, but you're not waving your hand. Tiha? Thank you, Tiha. Wave your hand. Good man. Excellent, guys. Thank you. All right, good. Excellent. So we've learned about the characteristics of entrepreneurship. Does anybody have any questions about the characteristics that I've described to you? Does everybody know what I mean by team building? What do I mean by team building? Let's talk to Kelly Selvam. Hello, Kelly. Would you like to switch on your microphone? Hi,
Yeah, sure.
Kelly. Can you give
Hi.
me an example? Team. Why is a team important? Can you tell me?
Because we can exchange the ideas.
Thank you very much. So what you do by creating a team is you bring all these subject experts together, and they will be able to support your entrepreneurship ideas and take them from ideas to make them a profitable company. Would you agree with me, Calais?
Yes.
Thank you very much, Calais. Good stuff. Excellent. All right, guys, let's go back to my screen. Okay, so we all understand what team building is. So let me just remind you that when you go into starting a new business as an entrepreneur, it's very important to make sure you surround yourself with experienced people who can actually make your ideas work. Otherwise, you will fail. Look at Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was an IT genius. But when Steve Jobs formed Apple, he had a famous saying: when you employ experts at designing the technology, don't tell them how to do their job. Tell them what the product you want them to design is, and let them do what they're good at. And that is something that Steve Jobs continued saying till the last day he died. So if you want to open a restaurant to serve Italian food, make sure you have an Italian chef or somebody who's been trained to cook Italian food. Otherwise, your entrepreneur venture will close. Your entrepreneurship trip will end. All the money you've put in, you will lose. You will fail. You need to make sure you're surrounded by people with the skills needed to complement your journey as an entrepreneur. All right. Part of being an entrepreneur also means that you should be ready to fail. You know, no business around the world becomes successful until it's failed. Failure creates success. Does everybody understand that? Look at Coca-Cola. Look at all the biggest companies in the world. Unless they fail, they don't succeed. The harder they fail, the more successful they become. Does everybody understand that? I want you to repeat after me, everyone. The harder we fail, the more successful we become. Everybody say it now. The harder we fail, the more successful we become. Okay, good. The reason I'm saying that is unless you fail, you don't learn. That is how businesses work. Do you understand that, everyone? Can you wave your hands for me? Wave your hands, everyone, now. Excellent, thank you. All right, so let's just reiterate. Entrepreneurship is about somebody who wants to change something, solve a problem around the world. If I was going to ask you here today, is there anybody here that could tell me about a problem that you are thinking of solving as an entrepreneur as soon as possible? Does anybody have a problem that they would like to solve as an entrepreneur? Who can wave their hand for me? Anybody want to share that problem with me? Okay, let's talk. Muhammad Abdul Qadir, sir. Good evening. Welcome to tonight's lesson. Can you unmute your microphone, Muhammad? Hello, Muhammad. Where are you from? I can't hear you, Muhammad. You're muted. Can you unmute your microphone? You need to unmute your microphone, Muhammad. Unmute your microphone. Go ahead, Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, sir. Where are you from, Muhammad?
I'm from Nigeria.
Good. So tell me, Muhammad, what's one problem in the world that you'd like to solve as an entrepreneur?
I want to make most of the things that people are trying to deliver to India. And I think
All right.
we can make that goal through trying to build up.
Okay. And how do you intend to solve this problem? What's your idea?
I will, it's not only me, I would like to invite people that are expert on that area.
Right.
To make our ideas together.
Okay, good. Excellent. Okay, good. Very good start, Muhammad. Thank you very much. Can anybody else share a problem that they want to become entrepreneurs and try to solve one day? Anyone else? Wave your hand for me. Come on, wake up, everyone. Okay, I've got somebody down here. Who have I got? Can you unmute your microphone, young lady? Are you there?
Yeah, hi.
Hi, tell me, what is a problem that you hope to solve as an entrepreneur?
The problem of the plastics, like that plastic,
Right, and
the
how are you going to
garbage.
solve that?
I think I want to to make recycle the
Right,
plastic.
okay. So you
Yeah.
want to come up with a more efficient way to recycle plastic, is that right?
Yeah, correct.
Have you studied science or do you have any experience in recycling?
I know it's so hard, but yeah.
Okay, but you
I
know,
read
that's
that. Yeah.
okay. That's okay, Divina. You're on the right track because you recognize that you don't have the expertise, but that shouldn't stop you from becoming an entrepreneur. You simply need to make sure that you build a team that can
Correct.
help you achieve your results. Do you understand me?
Yeah, correct. Thank
And
you.
when do you want to get this venture off the ground? When are you going to start?
Actually, I'm starting in Philippines, just helping people. I just change the plastic into rice.
Yeah.
Because some area in my place is the place is some because of pandemic,
Yeah.
so the families there are the father or the mother
Yeah.
no work na no work, so I
Right.
decided to
Okay.
help them
Right. Okay.
gathering plastic.
Yeah.
Then if
Selling it.
they make let's say 1 kg of plastic,
Yeah.
then I'll give them 1 kilo of rice for
Yeah,
to help
that's
them.
incredible. So basically, you're running a social enterprise. You're not making money, right? But for you,
Yeah.
Davina, you have to make money as well as contribute back to society. Because
Yeah,
if you
that's the
keep running, if you keep running a social enterprise, you're not an entrepreneur. You're basically a volunteer. Do you
Yeah.
understand the difference? Okay.
Yeah. That's why I'm here now.
Wonderful. So I want everybody to learn from what Davina said. If you are helping charity or you're doing something for the community, you're not an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs have to make money and generate revenue and make a profit. If you're helping people in your community, you are doing what we call social, you are, you know, serving society or giving back to your community. That's basically voluntary social work. That is not entrepreneurship. Do you follow me?
Yeah,
Now, let me
correct.
give you an example of how you can make that a business. What you could say is, for every 100 tons of plastic I collect, the people that help me collect it, I will pay you this much in US dollars at the end of the month, or I will buy groceries to the value of 1,000 US dollars based on how many tons of plastic we collect, and I will distribute it to all of you. But you have to make sure that whatever you give them is not all the money you profit from the plastic, because
Correct.
you're still a business. You understand that?
Yeah,
And
yes, sir.
business can be very successful when you tell your customers that you're a social enterprise. For example, if my business makes computers, and if I tell my customers that for each computer I sell, I will donate $100 to schools in poor countries that don't have computers, more people will buy from me because I'm giving back to the world. Do you understand? But
Yeah.
I still need to make a profit in order for me to become an entrepreneur. You follow
Correct.
that? Let me
Yes,
give
sir.
you an example of this point. If you look at Microsoft, all right, Microsoft, you all know Microsoft, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Microsoft became famous. But why did Microsoft become famous? Because Microsoft has been a social enterprise for years. Every software that Microsoft sells around the world, they will donate a certain number of software packages to poor countries, schools in India, schools in Pakistan, schools in Afghanistan. More than that, Microsoft had committed that prior to COVID-19, in poor countries where children don't have computers, Microsoft gave away Microsoft um, computers, Microsoft tablets, so students, Microsoft Surface notebooks, so students could learn how to use computers. That was part of Microsoft giving back to the community, which is known as social enterprise. But Microsoft is still focused on making money. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Do you all know Bill Gates? Does everybody heard of Bill Gates? Bill Gates founded Microsoft. The Bill Gates organization, the Bill Gates charity, or the Gates Foundation, now helps companies and schools all around the world to give computers and teach children IT in countries where they're too poor, like Ethiopia, Nigeria, all those countries. Why does he do that? Because he wants to give some of the hundreds of billions of dollars that he made from Microsoft back to the community. And by doing that, he's promoting the Microsoft brand. Do you all understand that?
Yeah.
So thank you, Davina. You've
Thank you,
just
sir.
made me explain social enterprise. Do you understand the difference between entrepreneurship and social
Yeah.
enterprise?
Yes,
So
sir.
to be an entrepreneur, you can still give back to social enterprise, but what's your first priority? Your first priority is to
Earn
make money,
money.
right?
Yeah.
Good,
Yes, sir.
excellent.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much. Okay, let's go on. Let's look at the next PowerPoint. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, it's estimated that nearly 75% of new companies, new startups by entrepreneurs around the world fail. The reasons for their failure are vast and encompass everything from a flawed business plan model, the fact that they don't have a team of people who can complement their business, to a lack of motivation, a lack of knowledge, or the fact that they don't want to take risks. They either are scared of taking risks or they don't know how to take risks because they haven't learned anything about entrepreneurship. All right. Sometimes risks are inevitable, but as an entrepreneur, you need to learn how to deal with them. Does everybody understand this? Excellent. The other characteristic of entrepreneurship is persistence. You need to be persistent. You need to be able to carry through. You need to be able to make sure that you don't give up. That is one of the most important elements of being an entrepreneur, persistence. Does everybody know what persistence means? You need to be able to be strong enough that even if you have a problem and you're running out of money, you don't give up. You persist. You think of new ideas on how to save your business and make it successful. Throughout you going into entrepreneurship, throughout your entrepreneurship journey, you need to remember you will go through many hypotheses. Some of your ideas will be successful, some will fail. You need to be ready for failure. You need to be willing to adapt and change, as we've already said. You need to learn from your mistakes. You need to continue asking questions, and you need to persist until you reach your goal. That is part of entrepreneurship. You need to be innovative. You need to be able to constantly come up with new ideas. You cannot say that the way my mother cooked adobo 20 years ago is the only way to cook adobo. You must always be prepared to change the recipe or improve your recipe. Innovation is a core element. When you bake chocolate cake, you must have chocolate. In entrepreneurship, unless you have innovation, creativity, eccentricity, curiosity, adaptability, and persistence or perseverance, you cannot be an entrepreneur. And you have to be focused on the long term, because being an entrepreneur is not a one-day thing. You need to have a long-term plan and focus on achieving your goals over the long term. Does everybody understand what I mean by long-term focus? You cannot be an entrepreneur and succeed in 1 week. You cannot be an entrepreneur and succeed in 1 month. It's not a one-day trip. It's not a joyride. It has to be a long-term plan. It is easy to start a business, but truly it's hard to grow to a substantial size. Look at Amazon, look at Microsoft. Some of the greatest opportunities in history were discovered well after a venture was launched. Look at Amazon. When it started, no one expected that Amazon will have warehouses and distribution centers in some 20 countries around the world. But thanks to COVID-19, they had to grow. They have become the most profitable, the most successful, and the world's largest e-commerce platform around the world, thanks to the problems caused by COVID-19. All right, so let's talk about it. Does everybody understand what I've discussed so far? Does everybody understand what I've discussed? Yes or no? Can you wave your hands to me? Wave your hands, everyone. All right. Does anybody have any questions about anything that I've said so far? Wave your hand so I can answer your question. Okay, I've got 2 questions. Let's take Dolores first and then Pham Minh. Hello, Dolores. What's your question? Go ahead. Unmute your microphone. Hi.
No, so far, sir, no. I just mistaken to wave my hand.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. All right. Anybody has any questions? Pham Minh, do you have any question? Pham Minh? Hello. Oppo, Miss Farm Min 2, would you like to ask a question? Would you like to unmute your microphone? No? Okay, I'll come back to you. Muhammad Abdul Qadir, you have a question? Please unmute your microphone. Muhammad Abdul Qadir, unmute your microphone. Yes, sir. What's your question? I can't hear you, Muhammad. You have to speak up or fix your microphone. I can't hear you, Muhammad. I'm sorry, Muhammad, your microphone is not working. Can you fix your microphone and I'll come back to you? Please fix your microphone.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I
Can you
can.
hear
Go
me
ahead.
now?
Yes, go ahead.
I said my question is about the innovation and the,
Innovation and?
yes, it's about the innovation. That part I can't. I didn't understand that part.
Just one moment for me, Muhammad. I've got an echo. Let me try to deal with the echo.
Okay, sir.
Okay, can you try now? I've blocked somebody's echo. Can you repeat your question, please? Unmute your microphone, please.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead. It's much clearer now. So what was your question again about innovation?
My question is about innovation means you have to start the business. Maybe it is only you, right? Before you will come and employ some people, before you come be successful. So you must be patient, right?
Absolutely. So part of innovation is for you to be innovative and learn how to generate new ideas. And you will
Yes.
only do that through studying entrepreneurship like you are now. Yes, you are correct, sir. Yes, you are. But once you become an entrepreneur, you have to continue being innovative. So you constantly have to come up with new ideas.
Yes, because you are a leader now, so you have to, right?
That's exactly right, sir. You're exactly right. And hopefully by the time you finish your studies this month, you will become much more innovative. All right. Thank you for your ideas, Muhammad. And by the time we get to lesson 6, you will be able to tell me what you've learned. All right. Good on you, Muhammad. Good stuff. Good question. Does anybody else have any question for me, please? Anybody else? Would anybody else like to ask me a question? Okay, let's talk to Gabrielle Feary. Hi, Gabrielle. Do you have a question? Can you unmute your microphone, sir? Hi, Gabrielle. What's your question? I can't hear you, Gabriel. Your microphone is muted, sir. Thank you. You're welcome, Oppo CPH 2333. Oppo, you need to rename yourself. Otherwise, I cannot mark your attendance. You need to put your real name. Please go to participants, click on rename and write your correct name. Otherwise, I cannot mark you as attended. Okay, so let's go on. Any other questions before I go? Excellent, excellent. Let's go on. Okay, so let's go on to the other element of being an entrepreneur. Small business is when you start, and then your business will grow, and hopefully one day it will become a multinational. Small business is the idea of opening a business without turning into a large conglomerate like Amazon, a public listed company, Microsoft. It's like the young lady who wants to open a restaurant, a small entrepreneur, a self-owned one-man business, or a small business with just 4, 5, or 10 employees. A single location restaurant, a small grocery shop, a retail shop, anything like that is a small business entrepreneur or small business entrepreneurship. It's still something that you need to learn about entrepreneurship. Otherwise, you may fail. Usually, people who want to become entrepreneurs and open their own small business, they start by investing their own money to open a small shop or to open a restaurant. And if you don't have the skills required, you will lose your money and you will go back out with nothing. Usually any entrepreneurs that go into entrepreneurship on a small scale, like setting up a restaurant or a shop, okay, these small businesses can't borrow money or get investors. You can only take a loan, maybe a small loan from your local bank or from a money lender, but you can't borrow large amounts of money, millions or billions of dollars. You can't have investors invest money in your company like the big companies like Grab, Apple, Microsoft, all the airlines that have investors and finance company lend them millions of dollars to buy aircraft. So as a small entrepreneur, you may only be able to get a small loan from your bank, or you may not even be able to get a loan. There is a difference between a small business entrepreneurship program or plan or project and a multinational one where the company is going to evolve and become a multinational company around the world. But remember, you can start as a small business and then grow to a multinational. Okay, so does everybody understand what I mean by a small business? Good. Let's go on. You must remember that when you become an entrepreneur or when you go down the road of entrepreneurship, there's something called what we refer to academically as a scalable startup. A scalable startup are usually small companies that have a plan to grow to multi-million dollar companies. And these scalable startups are very common in the information and technology industry in Silicon Valley. They come up with a new computer product and every year they improve it and innovate. As the product becomes bigger and smarter, their business grows and becomes bigger. So that's what I mean by a scalable startup. But as a restaurant, you may start with one outlet, and after 2 years, you might have 5 outlets, and then you might decide to franchise your brand. So you go from a small business to basically growing as a company, a private company, and one day you could become a publicly listed company, just like McDonald's. So there is a difference between a small business and a multinational company. And there is also, that's what we call a scalable startup, where it's an IT company or a technology company that develops something small and operates as a small business. And eventually, when they develop new products or more technology solutions, they become a scalable startup that grows year after year as they come up with more technology. And as I said, large companies, which I just referred to as multinational companies, like Amazon, like Apple, like Microsoft. These are multinational companies. All right, does everybody understand what I mean so far? And as our student just said before, there is also what we call social entrepreneurship, which is to help your community. But social entrepreneurship are not driven by profit, so they're not real entrepreneurs. Usually, social entrepreneurship comes as a complement side to a profitable entrepreneurship. As I said, Bill Gates gives free computers to kids in need all over the world to promote the Microsoft brand. That's social entrepreneurship. But social entrepreneurship on its own is not a form of revenue making or profit making. It's only social entrepreneurship, which is different from profitable entrepreneurship where you generate revenue and make a profit. Okay, so now that we've spoken about entrepreneurship, let's go back and ask the question, when you go down the path of entrepreneurship, what do you become? You become an entrepreneur. Can everybody say it? what do you become? We become entrepreneurs. We become entrepreneurs. Everybody say entrepreneur.
Entrepreneurs.
Good. Again, entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur.
Thank you very much. Okay. All right, everyone. So I want you to start thinking before lesson 2. I want you to start asking yourself, if I was to become an entrepreneur tomorrow, what is my first business that I'm going to launch? Hypothetically, it doesn't have to be one that you're going to do. I just want you to think like entrepreneurs. I want you to start thinking before lesson 6 and your exam. If I launch a business as an entrepreneur, how am I going to decide on the business? What sort of business will I launch? I want you to remember the characteristics: creativity, eccentricity, adaptability, persistence, basic knowledge of business and financial skills, which you'll learn over the next 4 weeks or 6 lessons. All right. So in the next 4 weeks, you'll have 6 lessons, 1 revision lesson, and a 2-hour exam. All right. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Wave your hands, everyone. Excellent. Excellent. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, entrepreneurs are people who come together, one or two, to form a business entity, a company or companies. It could be a company that sells, services, buys, manufactures, or simply sells food in a restaurant. In return, they generate revenue and make a profit. It is nothing to do with social enterprise or social entrepreneurship. Social entrepreneurship is something you add on once you, as an entrepreneur, are successful and make money, so that you promote your brand by giving money back to the community. Does everybody understand what I mean? The difference between a money-making entrepreneur and social entrepreneurship? Does everybody understand that? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. All right. Has anybody ever heard of a company in your country who gives back to the community through social enterprise? Can you all or anyone give me an example of a company that does that? Anybody can wave their hand and tell me a company that you know that gives back to the community. Sylvester, can you give me an example? Hello, Sylvester. Open your microphone.
Econet Wireless.
Right. Tell me, how do they give back to the community?
In fact, they come with big, they give back like scholarships to students
Fantastic.
who are marginalized.
Good. Excellent. So how do you think that helps their business? What does it do? It promotes the brand. Is that right?
Yeah, they promote their brand. Yeah, you're
And
right.
as a result of promoting the brand, what does that do to their customers? The customers become emotionally involved and they want to support the brand because the brand is giving back. So do you understand why successful companies engage in social entrepreneurship or social enterprise? Do you understand what I mean by that, my dear student?
I'm getting it.
Thank you very much. Okay, excellent. Rosalie, can you give me another? Thank you, sir. Rosalie, can you give me another example of social entrepreneurship? Rosalie Bonalis, can you open your microphone? Hi, Rosalie. You need to unmute your microphone, ma'am.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead. Can you give me another example of social enterprise?
We're here in the Philippines. It is one of them is a Shopee. Shopee
Yes.
always give raffles or
Okay, all right. Let me explain. A raffle is a gift to the customer. It's promotion. It's not social enterprise because you win that as a promotion. They're trying to get you to give them more business. Social enterprise is when a company gives you something without expecting you to buy more. When Shopee gives out coupons, you can only use those coupons when you buy more. So there's strings attached. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no? Good on you.
Yes, I
Thank
do
you so much.
understand.
All right, good. Thank you. I hope you've learned something. So there's a difference, guys, with the example that our student just gave us. Some companies like Shopee sometimes give you discount coupons. Sometimes you go to McDonald's, they give you a coupon for a free Big Mac when you come back and buy another burger. That is not social enterprise. That is a discount coupon or a promotion coupon, because for you to get the benefit, you have to spend more money. Social enterprise is when a company donates or gives to promote its name without expecting money in return. Do you understand that, everyone? Do you understand the difference between social enterprise and marketing and promotion? And in one of the next lessons, I think it's lesson 4 or 5, we'll learn about marketing and we'll distinguish between how companies market themselves and how they use coupons and social media discounts to attract customers, which is totally different from social enterprise. Okay, does anybody else have any interesting questions? That's a very good question. Thank you very much. Anybody else want to ask a question? Please raise your hand, or wave your hand. Sorry, don't raise your hand. Anybody else want to wave their hand and ask a question? Okay, I have one more, then we'll go back to the lesson. Win Min Chen. Go ahead, Win. Hello, Win. Can you unmute your microphone, Win Min? Okay, I can't hear you, sir. I'm sorry. Anybody else? Okay, let's go back to tonight's lesson. Okay, so we already defined the word entrepreneur. We all understand what an entrepreneur is. Remember, being an entrepreneur means you have decided to stop working for someone to become your own boss. You have decided that you want to set up your own business, which is known as entrepreneurship. You, as an entrepreneur, are usually someone who's creative, eccentric, persistent, adaptable, someone who is prepared to come up with new ideas to solve problems or service something that customers need, a consumer need. You will always be needing to source new ideas. You have to be innovative. You have to be curious to come up with goods and services. All right. You also have to be able to come up with business or procedures. All right. So you need to have a business plan. As an innovator, a source of new ideas, goods, services, businesses, and or related procedures. So if you're going to start a business to actually clean carpet, you would have to know what equipment you're going to buy. You would have to have your own procedures on how to clean carpets. This is all part of your plan as an entrepreneur. Are you going to clean carpets cheaper or better than your competitors? That's all part of what you have to come up with, what you have to innovate, the creative ideas you're going to bring to the business world when you come into that industry. There's probably 10,000 countries or 10,000 companies in 72 countries around the world. So there's probably 10,000 companies or 20,000 companies around the world, over 72 countries, that all call themselves carpet cleaners. You would have to find out what is going to make your carpet cleaning business better than them. How are you going to become more innovative so customers will buy from you rather than buy from them? This is all part of entrepreneurship. Does everybody understand that, ladies and gentlemen? Yes or no? Are you sure? Excellent. All right. What I'd like to do now is, I see some of you are drowsing off. I'd like to give you a break, okay? There's one rule. The break will be exactly. We're going to go on break now. The time now is 10:29. Okay, 10:29. I want everybody back here at 10:40. Does everybody understand that? 10:40. Is everybody clear about what I said? Yes or no? All right. So everybody, okay, you can mute your microphones. You can switch off your camera if you like. I want everybody to go and have a nice cup of coffee. Make sure you wash your faces with cold water so you wake up. If you're yawning, I want you to start learning and I want you to start becoming intelligent entrepreneurs. All right. Okay. Anybody want to ask me any questions before we go to the break? Okay, good. Excellent. I'm so proud of you all tonight because this is new to you. And this is the very basic introduction to how to become entrepreneurs. This is one of the easiest lessons that you're going to study over the next 4 weeks. By the time you go to lesson 2 on Friday, it's going to become more complicated and there'll be a lot more to learn by the time you get to lesson 6. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Good. All right. Let's go to a break. I'll see you all back here at 10:40 sharp. Do not be late. Entrepreneurs are never late because entrepreneurs are hungry to succeed, hungry to learn. They're curious. So you're learning about entrepreneurship. Please be back on time, 10:40 p.m. I'll see you shortly. Thank you. All out as a full-time entrepreneur and develop a team. He's usually somebody who only wants a digital experience of some kind, like an entrepreneur who wants to work from home on their own schedule. Okay, probably doing online graphic art design or something like that. Okay, so it's okay to have a digital nomad motivation. But remember, if you're someone who just wants to do digital work online, you might only remain a small business entrepreneur. But if you want to grow to a multinational company, okay, you need to be more than just a digital entrepreneur. You need to have all the other entrepreneurial motivations. But some digital nomads can still make money. I know parents that work from home doing script writing or translation or babysitting the neighbor's kids at home because all they're interested in is working from home. And when they babysit, they teach the kids through using basic computers. They run their nursery basically from home. They keep all their records on computer, but that's not really, you know, very much IT, but more digital nomad is somebody who basically wants to work from home. All right. But a lot of these digital nomads, a lot of them run their business online, are very sometimes digital driven. But for things like babysitting or childcare, they want to work from home, but they might not be so digitally enthused or encapsulated. All right. So a midday or digital nomad entrepreneur, an entrepreneur who's motivated by digitalization or the comfort of working from home. Again, this sort of entrepreneur will never really grow and be as successful as an entrepreneur like Jobs or, the guy that I just mentioned, Richard Branson, or Jeff Bezos, or Mark at Facebook. All right. You need to think. All right. You need to think, how big an entrepreneur do you want to become? Okay. The last one I want to talk about is the legacy entrepreneur. Okay. The legacy entrepreneur is somebody, or second last one, actually, before we go to the one that I really want to spend time on. The legacy entrepreneur are people who want to start a business not only to become successful, but a business that they can put into place for their family to inherit and carry through for generations. Like if you want to start a restaurant and you cook, your husband cooks and works with you, your children might help you on the weekends, and you want to pass that restaurant business down to your children and grandchildren, that's the sort of legacy entrepreneur. Now, usually legacy entrepreneurs might start small, but when their children grow up, they don't want to work in that business. So that sort of entrepreneurship has to then either evolve and learn all the other skills of entrepreneurship and bring other people and teams in to run it. Otherwise, it will fail. A legacy entrepreneur usually wants a business that he can grow and that will be around for probably 10 years or up to 100 years. It's a family business. There is some of them around the world, but many of them usually remain family and do not grow. They remain a small business. There is a small number of them and local brands in the Philippines and Singapore that have remained a family legacy, but have grown. They now have probably 50 or 100 staff. But right throughout, the family is all involved in the business, and it's gone from grandfather to grandson to son and all their children. All right. So let's stop that and let's talk about what we've just spoken about. So what we've done is we've spoken about the characteristics of entrepreneurship, the characteristics and the traits of an entrepreneur, and the different type of motivations that create successful entrepreneurs. Okay. So tell me, what do you guys think is the most successful motivation in being an entrepreneur? What do you think is the most powerful motivation? Can anyone tell me what is the most powerful motivation? Who can tell me? Raise your hand. Come on, put up your hands. Sangay Tenzen, can you give me an example? What is the motivation that you think is the most powerful? I still have a lot of students here with their cameras off. May Yat Tint, Cheryl, Nelson Amanda, Jamar Baden, Nay Tun Hilang, Amy Velasquez, you all need to switch on your cameras or your attendance for this lesson will not be recorded. Please switch on your cameras and do not switch them off until the lesson has ended. If you keep switching them off, your attendance will not be recorded. Please switch on your cameras. Okay, so let's talk about it. Who can tell me what do you think is the most powerful motivation to be a successful entrepreneur? Let's start with, let me ask questions here. Who am I going to ask first? Sanjita, what do you think is the most powerful motivation for an entrepreneur? Can you give me your idea? Go ahead.
Of course, money.
Well, money, a hustler, yes, money is a good motivation, but money alone is not enough. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, good. Thank you, Sanjita. Who else can tell me what's another motivation to be a successful entrepreneur? Yes, Jamie, can you give me an idea? What's another successful motivation for you? Go ahead, Jamie.
I want to secure my family.
So you want to build a family empire, right? You want to
Yeah.
secure a business for your family. That's a good motivation, but that alone is not enough to make you successful. Do you understand that? So even if you want to set up a business for your family, you must also have hustler qualities. You must be hungry to make money for you and for your family. You must be creative. You must be really somebody who is prepared to take risk. You must be somebody who's persistent and somebody who can adapt to change, somebody who's flexible. Do you understand what I mean by that, Jamie? So, you know, just because you want to start a family empire, you still have to have all the traits as long as the motivation. Your motivation is you want to set up a family and give them a secure future of having a business. But in order for that motivation to be successful, you have to have all the other traits that are required for an entrepreneur. Do you understand that, Jamie?
Okay.
Good girl. Excellent. Thank you. Who's going to ask the next question? I want to ask another question. Let's go to Tariro. Hello, Tariro. Where are you from, Tariro? Open your microphone. Come on, open your microphone. Where are you from?
I'm from Botswana.
Okay, tell me, can you tell me what would be your motivation to become a entrepreneur? What is your motivation?
I would go for the creative one.
Right, excellent. So being a creative, having a creative motivation is good. But even if you have the creativity in you, you still need to have the traits of an entrepreneur. Do you understand that? Your motivator is your creativity. But to make you successful, you also have to have the other traits that we described. Do you follow me?
Yes, thank.
Okay, can you give me an idea about some creative business that you would like to start one day?
Like starting in what can I call it? Okay, like a program, a computer program.
All right. Why do you think, what gives, okay, tell me about your level of creativity in that. How would you do that? What is the creative element?
Okay, like I'll be like in some schools here, there
Yes.
are different problems
Yes.
in IT,
Yes.
and the problem can be solved technologically.
All right. So if you're going to solve technological problems, do you have to be creative or do you have to have computer in technology intuitiveness, or do you have to be computer trained? Do you think it's more creative or more technical? What do you think you need?
Yeah, but I was thinking that as a programmer,
Right?
you have to be creative.
Absolutely. Very good. Thank you. So as a programmer, you don't only need technical intuitivity or intuity, as we call it, or intuitiveness. You need to have also creativity so that you build a program that can work. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
A programmer without creativity is only going to put out a program that's like a machine. But unless you make it creative, it does not serve the real business world. When you say creative, you must be able to understand, what do I need to include in this program in today's world? What are the problems that this program has to solve? Do you understand my question or my statement?
Yes, sir.
Good on you. Thank you so much. All right, let's go to someone else. Jamie, Jamie Luon. Are you there, Jamie? Hi. Hi, Jamie. How are you? Can you teach me how to pronounce your name? How do I pronounce your name, young lady?
Jamie, sir. Jamie.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Jami. I'm sorry I mispronounced your name. Jami, tell me, what is your motivation to become an entrepreneur? Which motivation do you think fits in you? What do you think is your motivation to be an entrepreneur?
I answered that already, sir.
I'm sorry?
Again, I said it's my family, sir. I want
Great.
to
So
build
your
a
motivation, again, is to build an empire like you just told me, right? Okay. Now I want to ask you, I came back to you for a reason. So tell me, Jami, this family empire, what sort of business would you go into?
like
I'm asking this for a reason, because you focused on the word family empire. So give me the idea of what sort of business you want to develop in order to give your family the empire.
a building, like a condominium, sir.
All right, now you're thinking big. So you want to build a block of condominiums and then rent them out. So you're looking at the property business. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Now tell me, you have to be creative, right? You have to have an understanding of financial management and accounting. You have to actually be able to have a team with property development experience to support you. Am I right? Do you understand where I'm coming from, Jamie? Okay, the reason I'm asking this is because I didn't ask you before, so I wanted to know what sort of business. We heard from the other young lady, so I thought I better ask you as well. So now we have somebody who wants to go in the IT programming business. We have Jami here who wants to go into the property business. Thank you, Jami. Do you understand what I've explained to you tonight, young lady?
Yes, sir. Yes.
All right, good. Let's go to somebody else. Rochelle Esperigion, can you tell me what would be your motivation as an entrepreneur? Rochelle, unmute your microphone, young lady. Tell me about your motivation.
Failure.
Your motivation is that you fear failure. Is that right?
Yes.
All right, good. That's a very good one, because now we've opened a new door. Can I ask you, Rochelle, if you fear failure, are you going to be somebody who's going to be ready to make investments and take risks? Or are you going to be somebody who's going to take calculated risks? What sort of investor will you, or entrepreneur will you be?
I'm already in online selling. I'm already doing online
All right,
selling.
good. Okay. But answer my question. When you say your fear is to lose money, or your fear is failure, when you went into online selling, do you make decisions based on just your gut feeling or based on calculated decisions? How do you take your
Calculate.
Very good.
I have to base to calculative.
So you're somebody who calculates everything. You're more of an independent motivation, where you base all your decision on calculated risk, and you work based on your gut feeling about how comfortable you are with that risk. Am I right? Very good. Excellent. Thank you for sharing that example with me. Tell me,
You're welcome.
how successful is your online business now?
Now it's not that successful, so I have to think a way to be different.
Excellent. All right. What I want
I
you to do, young lady, is I want you to start as you go through the next 6 lessons about entrepreneurship and sales. I want you to start making notes for me by the last lesson of what you've learned throughout the next 6 lessons and how you're going to apply them to your business. Would that help you?
Yes, yes.
And at the end of the 6 lessons, after we're finished, if you would like to call me and discuss those ideas and ask me to help you and guide you in applying them to your business, I would be very happy to do that. Would that be helpful for you?
Of course. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. And that is an offer I make to all the students who attend this module. Do you understand that, everyone? So I want you to use the knowledge that you're taking from these 6 lessons, Jamie, Ria, all of you. And as you go through the 6 lessons, Jamie, I want you to write down how each lesson is going to help you bringing your dream of becoming an entrepreneur to reality. Do you understand that, young lady? Yes or no, Jamie? Good, excellent, good girl. All right, another young lady that's been studying and focusing on my lesson tonight. Her name is Pedlin Gomez. Hello, Pedlin. Where are you from? Can you say hello to me? You look so cute tonight, sitting there, focusing and writing it down. I'm so proud of you, young lady. Tell me, where are you from? Hi, Pedlin, where are you from?
Hello, good evening. I'm here in Kuwait State.
Okay, so tell me, Pedlin, what's your motivation to become an entrepreneur? What's your motivation?
I want to build a convenience store.
All right, what sort of store you want to build? A food store, or you want to sell groceries, or what do you want to do?
Grocery.
All right, so for you to do that, you need to study for the next 6 weeks and learn all the elements of entrepreneurship. Because even if you want to open a shop and sell groceries, you still have to have basic financial skills. You still have to learn how to be creative. You still have to learn how to purchase goods and sell them for a profit. You need to know how to work out the cost of the goods you're selling and how much profit margin you need to make. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
All right, please focus. All right, don't be shy. If you don't understand, I'm a teacher. Ask me. Don't just say yes. Do you understand me, young lady? Do you understand what I said?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Good girl. Thank you
Yes,
so
sir.
much. Good. All right, let's talk to one other student. Where is she? Maribel Felicita. Hello, Maribel. Where are you from? Good evening, Maribel. I'm waiting for you, Maribel. Where are you from?
I'm from Philippines, but right now I'm in Taiwan.
Okay, Maribel, what's your motivation? And if you were to ever become an entrepreneur, what sort of entrepreneur would you become?
Oh, recently I like baking.
All right.
Like
So you want to become another cupcake lady, all right? Is that what you want to become?
yes, I like that.
Or you want to become another Mrs. Fields who became famous for baking cookies. Have you ever heard of Mrs. Field?
No, not really.
Well, Mrs. Fields bakes cookies all over the world. She has cookie shops all over the world. She started baking cookies at home and she became an entrepreneur. And now Mrs. Fields cookies are baked on site at shopping centers and sold all over the world. Tell me, what sort of baking do you enjoy? Cake, wedding cakes, biscuits? What sort of baking?
Just a simple one. There's a small cupcakes and then cookies.
Okay. All right. Good. Excellent. When you open a cafe, please remember me and please make sure you have adobo on the menu and I will come to your cafe. Is that a deal?
Yes,
All right.
yes.
Good on you. Thank you very much, Felicia. Let's ask somebody else to share his ideas. Sylvester Andrews, where are you, Sylvester? Your name is on my list. Are you there, Sylvester? Can you open your microphone?
Yes,
Hi,
I'm here.
Sylvester. What sort of
Mm.
entrepreneur do you want to become? What are your ideas about going into entrepreneurship?
In fact, I just want to be flexible. Someone who doesn't have something that holds him. You know.
Right. Okay, but you want to bring flexibility to start your own business, or you just want to be flexible in all the business decisions you make? What are you looking for? Tell me.
In fact, I want to be flexible in every business decision that I make.
Okay, good. So can I ask you, how would you define flexible in your own words, sir?
In fact, it's like whatever I'm doing that is giving me money. I don't want it to disrupt like other ventures. I'd like to do I enjoy photography, but I don't
Right.
want to do it I don't want to do it like my main business that gives me money. I like traveling, so
Okay.
I don't want to be
Okay, I understand you. So you're somebody who wants to use their passion or something they enjoy to actually
yeah
turn it into a business and make money. Am I correct?
yeah right.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for your contribution. And I hope you will get to learn more about how you can do that over the next 6 weeks. 6 lessons, 3 weeks. All
Okay.
right. Thank you so much. I
Yeah.
have a hand going up here. We have to go back to the PowerPoint, but I'll take one more question. Yes, Joanna. How can I help you, Joanna? Can you unmute your microphone, Joanna?
For me, being the positive thinking. For me, being positive.
I can't hear you, Joanna. Just hold on. There's echo. Let me kill the echo.
Like that, I will teach them.
Okay, can you try now, Joanna? Can you unmute your microphone again? Are you there, Joanna? Unmute your microphone. Unmute your microphone, Joanna. Are you there? I can't hear you, ma'am. Are you there, Joanna? All right, just give me 1 minute. Okay, I got you, Joanna. Can you unmute your microphone, Joanna?
Yeah.
Okay,
You
tell
can
me.
hear me, sir?
Yeah, go ahead. What was your
For
question?
me, positive thinker. No, sir. For your
I'm sorry, Joanna. I can't hear you. There's something wrong with your microphone. Can you please fix your microphone? I'll come back to you. All right. Okay, let's go back to the PowerPoint. Okay, so remember, what are the benefits of being an entrepreneur? Well, it's very easy. Work flexibility. It means that you're self-employed. That means you have the ability to set your own schedule and work where and when you want. It's the ability to follow your passion, as the gentleman just told us. It is the ability for you to use your ideas, which are related to your passion or your hobbies, to actually enable you to set up a business and give yourself a career and an income that you love. It will also give you the benefit of being able to take control, manage your own business, control how much revenue you generate, employ people in your team, and you become the boss. So you're basically giving yourself a career with total control. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, that because an entrepreneur owns their own business, you have to have complete control of that business. Otherwise, people that work for you will actually take you for blind. They will rip you off and they will probably not run the business the way you want it. As a new entrepreneur, you have to be involved. You have to take control to build the business so that one day it will no longer be a small business, but it will become a multinational company, a listed company, and grow, just like Amazon, Facebook, and all the other multi-million-dollar companies. All right, so the other benefit of being an entrepreneur is you being able to use your creativity, you being able to do things creatively to bring new ideas in solving problems and delivering them to the consumer. And one of the biggest opportunities for an entrepreneur is having unlimited earning potential. Look at Mark Zuckerberg, look at Bill Gates, look at the man Steve Jobs, look at all Jeff Bezos, look at Richard Branson. They are basically multimillionaires because of their decision to go down the road of entrepreneurship, become entrepreneurs, and build multi-billion-dollar companies. Does everybody know how much Facebook is worth? Do you all know how much Amazon generated over the years? Their turnovers have been not only millions, but I'm talking hundreds of millions of dollars. That is what has made these companies so successful. It's because of the ability of Mark Zuckerberg at Facebook, the ability of Bill Gates starting Microsoft, the ability of Ray Kroc, the founder of McDonald's. McDonald's is now one of the world's largest food chains. The ability, the intuition of Dr. Sanders at KFC, who invented Kentucky Fried Chicken. It is the intuition. It is the desire to have an unlimited income. It's the hunger to become rich. It's the hunger to make money, which makes people like Zuckerberg, Gates. All right. So all of these things are benefits of being an entrepreneur. They are benefits that should motivate you to work hard to become an entrepreneur. Let me leave you with a simple definition. The easiest way to differentiate between an entrepreneur and entrepreneurship is an entrepreneurship and an entrepreneur compared to entrepreneurship is to imagine a salesperson and selling. All right. Entrepreneurs are visionaries who can convert ideas into a big or small business. Okay. Entrepreneurship is the science that guides you to be an entrepreneur. All right. Entrepreneurship is a formula, a process, a science that guides you into developing and operating a business from the ground up. When you do that, when you follow the process of entrepreneurship, you become an entrepreneur. That means that if you come in with an idea or a vision on how to solve a problem, and you apply the rules of entrepreneurship to make that vision a reality, you are an entrepreneur. Let's talk about in brief. An entrepreneur is a doer who has something new to offer to society by running an enterprise, a company or a business, be it small or large. An entrepreneur is an innovator who uses thought-provoking ideas, creativity, eccentricity to lead the marketplace. An entrepreneur is a developer who gives shape to an idea and creates a business model and makes it happen. You are a leader who provides guidance and direction to the team who are going to support you. You are the one who will guide them to meet the deadlines and achieve goals and show them how to do it. But most importantly, you are a risk taker who can anticipate issues, problems, and you have to be adaptable and be able to solve them quickly. You have to even sometimes take calculated risks, use your gut feeling, your intuition, so that you can solve them and move forward. That is an entrepreneur. Let's talk about an entrepreneurship. What is entrepreneurship? Going into the science of entrepreneurship, we looked at what an entrepreneur is. Now let's look at entrepreneurship, the science or the process. Entrepreneurship is a systematic, purpose-built, creative process that helps you as an individual run a business or businesses. Okay? Entrepreneurship, as I said, is a process, it's a procedure, it's a system that helps you become a successful entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship pushes people to be creative, think outside the box, and offer unique products and service. That's why we said that one of the traits of an entrepreneur is creativity and eccentricity, or being eccentric. Entrepreneurship is about creating a variety of professional networks, interpersonal relationships with different people, with different experiences, and getting them to help you to put in place a business that you can run as an entrepreneur. In entrepreneurship, there's both risks and rewards of a business. Entrepreneurship is the science or the process that encourages people to take a leap of faith. And remember, if you don't fail, you will never learn and never succeed. Every company in the world, every successful entrepreneur has failed. Bezos, okay? Everybody has failed, but they all come back and become successful. Look at Bezos. Look at Jobs. They've all failed. Their failure made them 10 times more successful. So the rule of entrepreneurship is that you have to be prepared to take risk and you have to be hungry for reward. Let's talk about what we've learned tonight. Does everybody understand the difference between entrepreneur and entrepreneurship? I want to hear from some of these guys who've been very quiet tonight. Rogel Martinez. Hello, Rogel. Are you there, Rogel? Hi, Rogel. How can I help? Rogel, can you hear me? Can you unmute your microphone? Can you unmute your microphone? Hi, Rogel. Are you there? Can you hear me, Rogel? I can't hear you, Rogel. You have to switch on your microphone. Are you there, sir? I can't hear you, Rogel. Somebody's asking me what time will class end? 12 midnight. Okay, so I can't hear you, Rogel. I'm sorry, you need to fix your microphone. Let me talk to someone else. Okay, I've got other students asking questions. All right, Sangay Tenzin. Hello, Sangay. You want to open your microphone? Hi, Sangay. Hi, Sangay. Where are you from, mate?
Hello, I'm from Bhutan.
Sangay, do you understand the difference between being an entrepreneur and the process of entrepreneurship?
Yes, of course.
Good, excellent. Do you have any questions about anything that we've learned tonight, sir?
I don't have much question, but if sir could upload your presentation in our group, then it would be
I've already done that. Would you like me to do it again? Just give me a moment and I'll put it in the chat box again. One moment, please. Can you check the chat box now? Okay,
Yes.
just bear with me. Let me just send it to everyone again. This is the 4th time I've done it tonight. Okay. Okay, go ahead. Can you check the chat box now, sir?
Yes, I have received the
Okay, so
link.
you need to download the actual lesson notes.
Yes, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you
it's my
for
pleasure. And listen, at the end of this lesson, I'll give everybody my WhatsApp number. If you all have any questions about the lesson, you can just WhatsApp me and say, Mr. Wally, I was a student of entrepreneurship and sales lesson 1. Can you help me? All right, so let me do that now. Let me give everybody my name and my WhatsApp number. All right, my name is coming up in the chat box. And my WhatsApp number is coming as well. All right, can everybody check your chat box? Did everybody
Yes.
get my name and my WhatsApp number? Yes or no?
Yes,
Great,
of course.
excellent. So as we go through the next 3 weeks or 4 weeks, 6 lessons over 3 weeks, and your revision in week 4. If you have any questions or ideas, or if you get one of my other colleague lecturers and there's something you don't understand, I want you to message me. The whole idea of these lessons is to leave you with the discipline and the ideas you need to become entrepreneurs. You need to have the academic skills of what makes you a successful entrepreneur. Do you all understand that? Tonight was the very first lesson. It is the easiest lesson in the next 5 lessons, because tonight you had to understand, what does entrepreneur mean? What is entrepreneurship? In lesson 2, it's going to get harder. By lesson 6, you will all have the skills you need to be entrepreneurs, including the basic financial arguments and skills that are required. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? Yes or no? Wave your hands, wake up. All right, I see people going to sleep here. What's wrong with you all? Come on, it's only 12 o'clock. I have to go back to the office at 7 o'clock in the morning. I have a meeting and I'm still awake and I'm here happy to pass on the knowledge. Show me that you're interested. Become professional students. Come on, Ria. Smile, Ria. Good girl, Ria. Okay, Sumya, show me your smile, Sumya. You're not smiling tonight. Thank you. Jane Cruz, I want to see you smile. Come on, Jane. Good girl, Jane. Mildred Botta, I want to see you smile, young lady. I love your white teeth. Good girl, smile. Okay, everybody. Muhammad Rifta, you have to sleep. We should be ending the lesson very shortly, Muhammad. But before you sleep, I want to say to you all, entrepreneurship is the way to success. If you don't want to work for a company and earn a salary, then becoming an entrepreneur is something you should consider seriously. And at the end of this lesson, or at the end of completing the module on entrepreneurship and sales, you will be offered a chance to apply to our company for part-time work, doing projects online and earning money. But you will only be allowed to do that once you've passed the entrepreneurship and sales module at the end of this month. Does everybody understand that? You can actually start earning money and working from home on project basis and learn more about running a business. But first, you have to pass this module. And the money you earn from that can go towards paying for all your exams so you graduate. Does everybody understand what I'm saying, guys? Yes or no? Come on, smile. Show me that you're happy. Good stuff. All right. From me to you tonight, thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed the lesson. This was the easiest out of the next 6 lessons. The reason I wanted to make it so easy is because I don't want you to find it hard. I apologize for confusing Jollibee and Jolly Bean. Jollibee is the fast food chain. Jolly Bean is the soya milk chain. I had them both in front of me, but typed in the wrong name. I humble apologies. Even professors make mistakes. We're humans, all right? So everybody, read up, study hard, and I will see you in the next lesson or when you graduate. If I don't join you on Friday, one of my other lecturers will join you, but I will definitely see you again before the end of this module. Have a great night, everybody. I love you all. Study hard. Take care. Do your homework and read as much as you can about Jolly Bee and Jolly Bean. All right? Good night, everyone. Good night. I love you all. Good night. Good night. Good night, Langston. Good night, Almina. Good night, Rigel. Good night, Ophelia. Good night, Cheryl. Good night, Cecilia. Good night, Ronley. Good night, Dolores. Good night, Damfeni. Good night, Janellen. Good night, everybody. From here down under in Singapore, the little island of Singapore, the weather's cold. It's very dark and I need to go and have dinner. Good night, everyone. I love you all. Bye-bye.